guys, what's going on? See behind me, got a little bit of red there. See through the back window. Got the Honda CRF250F in the truck, loaded up. We are headed home. I got a smoking deal on this thing. I'm going to get it home, get it unloaded, get it in the garage. We'll do a little walk around. We'll talk about why I chose this bike over a more motocross bike. Background on me, real quick, I've never owned a motorcycle at all, street, dirt, anything in my life. My two-wheel experience is BMX bikes when I was a kid. And I think I rode when I was like 15. I'm 47 now, so 32 years ago. A guy I knew had a CR85 when I had my TRX 250X back in the day. And I hopped on it and just maybe rode an eighth of a mile up the road into the dirt, made a U-turn, come back to the house. That was it. And I don't even remember what that experience was like, and it wasn't enough to count really. So that's my extent on a dirt bike, on a motorcycle at all. So this is gonna be a whole new learning experience for me. I'm gonna be recording some practice videos. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna try and practice a couple days a week in the evening when it gets cooler. Just go out for a little ride in the desert, open desert trails around near my house. Just get some seat time. Just get comfortable on the bike, and then I'll be leaning on some of you guys, some of you subscribers, to give me some pointers and tips and tricks, on riding and getting better as a rider. So I'm looking forward to the experience and learning. A couple of my buddies just got some bikes, and really anxious to get out together and do some light trail riding and enjoy a whole new chapter, really, for me. And on this channel, if you guys have been following since the beginning, we've had side-by-sides, we've had ATVs, obviously have the Jeeps, the 4Runner, truck stuff, but never dirt bikes. So now opens up a whole new thing here too on the channel. There'll be a ton of content coming on this. So let me get it home and get it unloaded out of the truck. We'll get it in the garage, do a little walk around, talk about why I got it, plans for it, and stuff like that. And looking forward to hearing from you guys, the comments and the feedback. So stay tuned. Let me get this thing home and unloaded, and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, guys, here she is in the garage. I am super jacked up, but I'll admit to you, very nervous at the same time. I've never, like I said in intro of the video, I've never had a dirt bike in my life. I've never had a motorcycle in my life. Now that I think about it, I did have when I was a kid. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the Honda Spree. It was like a 50cc scooter. That's probably the only experience I have on a motorized two-wheel bike, so to speak. So I am super jacked to learn how to ride this thing, do some trails. Single track just looks really fun to me. It's always intrigued me, and that's kind of what drew me into wanting a dirt bike. And last year, Larry and Scott and I were in Moab, Utah, and we were doing trails in his Tacoma, and there was a group of dirt bikes on every trail we were on, and that just looked like an absolute blast to me as well. So I really am excited about this whole venture and learning how to ride it and ride it properly. I am going to record my rides so you guys can watch them if you want. If not, it's not going to be nothing exciting because new rider here, so fair warning. But if you guys can give me some tips when you watch the videos, and see if I have them improving or not per ride. And so I'm going to kind of track that. Mike Sabo's been doing that, and he just got his first dirt bike, and that just to me seemed like a great idea. If nothing else, then to just keep track for yourself. I can look back at them and see how much better I'm doing or not doing. So here it is. This is the 2024. It's a CRF 250F. This bike, I think, was introduced in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, and it replaced the CRF 230F. So it's a totally new bike from what I understand. Again, new into dirt bike, so I could be wrong. But from what I understand, ground up, it's a totally different bike. Even the forks, although they're not the inverted race forks, they're just traditional spring forks. These are 41 millimeter, and I think the outgoing 230 prior to the 2019 was 38 or 37 millimeter forks. So they're bigger forks. From what they tell me, these things are sprung for like a 160 to 180 pound rider, and I am 165 pounds, and I'm about 5'6", so this bike actually fits me perfectly. I know there is a lot out there for these bikes, and my plans currently are just to get a good quality skid plate to protect the bottom of the bike, and some wraparound hand guards, just way and inevitably when I do drop it and it tips over, protects the levers and all that stuff and the handlebar ends and all that. So probably we'll end up at some point getting a different set of handlebars, as these are stock bars, are just steel bars. They're not aluminum, and they, from what I understand, can bend rather easily. So that may happen. But we'll replace them with some pro tapers or rental bars or something along those lines. And the wraparound hand guards for sure. The grips, the stock grips, actually most stock grips on the quads I've had anyway, tend to be kind of harsh. These are actually, I don't mind them. They're actually fairly comfortable. So I'll probably just leave these for a little bit. Maybe eventually get some ODIs, which I like. I put on all my ATVs, and I'm pretty sure they make them for the dirt bikes too. So it's a 34.8 inch seat height from what they say. I am, again, about 5'6", 5'6.5", just under 5'7", pretty much. And I can sit on the bike and touch both feet on the ground, kind of like on the balls of my feet. So like that, not quite on tippy toes, but on the balls of my feet on both sides, I can reach the ground. So that'll kind of just give you a frame of reference, how, depending on how tall you are. My buddy Scott that bought the same bike. He's about 5'11", and he can sit on the bike flat-footed, put both feet on the ground flat-footed. So that'll give you a little frame of reference if you're thinking about it. The full motocross bikes, and I'll get into why I bought this over the full motocross version, like the 250R or the 250RX, which is the main one I was looking at for Honda. And then I was also looking at the Yamaha YZ250FX. So those are basically motocross bikes that are geared a little bit differently for trails. In the Yamaha's case, they put a 6-speed transmission in there, as Honda keeps the 5-speed in their cross-country trail off-road bike. But they're competition bikes. So they have the aluminum frames, they're lighter weight bikes, and all that stuff. Significantly faster, more powerful. But they're very high. The seat heights are like 37 to 38 inches on those things, and I couldn't even touch the ground without just leaning the bike completely to one side with one foot on the peg and one foot on the ground. So to me, for a new rider, that was a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm sure I'm going to be a little uneasy learning. So I want to be able to touch the ground and get myself through sticky situations, or just to take a break, even take a breather. And that just kind of makes you feel a little more confident when you can reach the ground, especially for a new rider like myself. So that's what kind of, and I kept going back and forth, because you watch videos on this bike here, the 250F, and like also the Kawasaki has one I was looking at too, is the KLX 230R. It's comparable to this. Obviously, it's a 230 instead of a 250. So I think this one dynos at like 20.5 horsepower, and the Kawasaki is like 17.8 or something like that. So this is a couple of horsepower more and a pound-and-a-half-foot torque more dyno on the dyno versus the Kawasaki. And that's not why I kind of went with this one. I just liked, this was very comfortable. There's a lot more aftermarket support for this bike, so I like that. Kawasaki's a nice bike too, though. It's also fuel injected. The Honda hasn't, Yamaha hasn't really caught on with the trail bike. They haven't updated their TT lineup in forever. They still have a rear drum brake on the TT 230. And that's why I stayed away from that one. I would have liked to gotten the Yamaha. If it was comparable to this, I might have. Just kind of keep with I have the Yamaha Raptor quads, and I could have the Yamaha motorcycle right next to it. Would have been cool, but they had rear drum brakes still. It's still carbureted. I know a lot of people like the carbureted. I just wanted a fuel injected bike, easier to not have to worry about, cold starts and rejetting at different altitudes, and I go from here in the desert to around 2,000 feet up to the mountains by my house. And it's 6,000-7,000 feet elevation change. So didn't want to really deal with the carburation. And plus, too, if I go on any trips, go to Utah or anywhere else with it, I don't have to worry about the elevation stuff. Fuel injection is nice and easy. I'm old and I don't feel like finagling with carbureted jetting. The only carbureted bikes I have currently in the fleet are my son's CRF250F, which is over there. You can see his garage is pretty packed, so it's another thing. I got to squeeze the spikes in place. And then my daughter's Raptor 350, that's also carbureted. The rest of the quads are fuel injected, which is so nice. So the bike is, what's cool about this Honda too is you got the key you could take out. So if you're like at a place, say like Hatfield McCoy's or something like that, and you're riding the trails and you come out off the trails into town, get lunch, gas up, which you're allowed to do there. You can just you don't have to worry about nobody starting a bike and driving away with it. You can just take the key out, or if you got teenage kids at home or that you're worried about hopping on your bike, you can just pull the key out, bring it with you. You don't got to worry about them sneaking it out and starting it and going away with it. So that's pretty cool. Some of the other bikes just have like a push button to activate the ignition and then start it. Everything else is pretty traditional dirt bike, start button and kill switch, but you don't need the kill switch. You can just turn the key off too. So I haven't driven the bike yet at all. It's got literally unloaded it off the truck, got it in the garage. I checked the oil, checked the air pressure, checked the air filter, make sure it was oiled properly, because I've bought machines in the past and the air filter's not oiled properly. So I want to go through the bike, just make sure everything was good, ready to go before actually running it much, just to not do any damage if oil was low but whatever. The air filter wasn't oiled properly. So, but yeah, I mean, it's freaking awesome. I'm just so pumped up to have this thing sitting here. I'm a little nervous to get on it and ride it for the first time. I'll be quite honest with you. So I think for the first startup, or the first movement I'm going to have on the bike, I'm literally going to pull up behind my house, just drive it out of the driveway, and just do a couple laps in the dirt behind my house. And then this weekend, it's currently Friday, so this weekend I'm probably going to try and take it out on the trails by my house, just some wide open flat ones, nothing crazy. Just get some seat time on it, record that ride, and then kind of step it up from there, and just try to ride every, at least a couple times a week, get an hour in or 45 minutes even, just a night, and just to become comfortable with the bike. So that's the plan anyway. I'm hoping everything goes smooth. And if you guys have any tips for new riders, techniques, how to position your body properly. I've been told when you stand, kind of want to squeeze the bike with your knees a little bit. So that's something I've learned from watching some videos and gotten tips from people. So that's something I know already that I'll try to be conscious of. As far as mods go, I just put an hour meter on it as soon as I got it home, so I keep track of fluid changes and all that stuff. Got it right there strapped to the frame. And obviously, this is an inductive one, so it goes to the spark plug wire. And then I ordered a better set of pegs, a little bit bigger pegs, foot pegs. These aren't bad. Not the grip on them isn't the best, so with the motocross boots might not be great. I ordered a nice set of billet ones with the sharp screws that stick out of them for a little better grip. My thought process on that was just, especially for a new rider, having a good platform and feeling secure where your feet are would probably instill a little bit more confidence and while I'm trying to learn how to ride the bike. So that's that. And then like I said, I'm gonna do the wraparound handguards, and I think I'm gonna get a skid plate, and that's gonna be it for a little bit until I get used to riding it and seeing what I want to do with it after that. The tires, from what I'm told, are pretty good from the factory and handle a variety of conditions. They're like a medium hard compound, which out here in the desert should be perfect. The exhaust, it's kind of quiet, but it's got a nice little rumble to it. I'll start it up for you guys and let you hear it and show you how nice it fires up. And another thing too, I went through the bike just to kind of see where everything was. Checked the battery terminals. That's always a big thing on new vehicles. I've seen plenty of people, myself included, have issues with side-by-sides and ATVs where you're out on the trail and all of a sudden check engine light comes on, or it's not running right or something, and it ends up just being a loose battery terminal because they just weren't tightened down well. So that is behind the left side cover, the battery terminal, and it's just literally 8mm bolt, and then the cover just pops off, just like pressure clips in there, hold it in. And on this side you have your air filter box, same thing, one 8mm screw, take it out. The air filter box itself, though, underneath that, the cover for the air filter box has 4 Phillips head screws, which I would have preferred. I would have liked to have seen it have clips. This way you can kind of not have tools to check it, but I guess not that big a deal. The air box inlet is under the seat. The seat comes off with 2 bolts, one there and one there, those 2 right there. You take those out and the seat slides back, comes out. And then the air box inlet is right under there, in case anybody's wondering. The fuel tank's about 1.6 gallons, and from what I'm told, this thing will go quite a ways on 1.5 gallons of fuel. There's a few guys online that have said they're getting like 70, 80 miles per gallon on this thing. So you should be able to go out ride all day on this bike and not have to worry about running out of gas. Obviously, that varies depending on how you ride, how aggressively you ride. And for me, for a while, it'll probably be sipping gas pretty gently because I'm going to be pretty easy on it. But it's overall a really good-looking bike. It's a nice, perfect size for me, and that was really my decision why I bought it, is the size. Honda reputation of quality, reliability. This bike comes with a 6-month warranty. A lot of the motocross bikes don't come with any warranty at all, like 0, like taillight warranty. Like you leave the dealer, start that thing up at home, and you're on your own. So that's kind of unsettling. It's a big purchase. You buy something like that, and you get home, and you have a crank failure or something's wrong with it, and it's not covered. So that's kind of crazy. I didn't feel comfortable with that. If I'm going to go that route, I would just bought a used one and save money, since you're not getting a warranty anyway. But this comes with 6 months. And you can purchase up to an additional 48 months from Honda for super cheap. It was like $500. I did not do that yet. You have within the first 6 months to purchase the extended warranty, so I may go ahead and do that. We'll see. But these things are these air-cooled Hondas are pretty bulletproof and reliable, so I don't know necessarily if I'll need it. I'll see how it is. I'm going to put some hours on it, within the first 6 months, and see how confident I feel in needing or not needing the extended warranty. And then down the road, future plans beyond what I mentioned already, probably would like to do an exhaust system. And from what I understand, that really will open up the motor quite a bit. And I know there's a couple companies that make exhausts that they say you don't need to tune the motor. I don't know how factual that is. And there's plenty of people that run them and they don't tune it and they say it's fine. My experience has always been you need to tune it, the bike, when you change the exhaust. But maybe this bike is not tuned too lean, and like the Yoshimura specifically, they said it's designed to run with the bike without needing a tune. And I think the Pro Circuit, which I think is the one exhaust I'd be leaning towards, the Pro Circuit exhaust, sounds really mean on these things. Not too loud, but a really good sound. And they also say it doesn't need to be tuned from what I was reading. But there is tuners you can get to plug, the piggyback fuel with the fuel injector to adjust the air-fuel ratio. So you can always do those. Those aren't that expensive, and they sell those for these as well. There's a load of protection now available for these: rotor guards, swing arm guards, full skid plates, everything pretty much you can buy. They even have lower fork guards for them. They sell, and that clamp, kind of clamp over it and bolt on. Those may be handy because they're, obviously a little vulnerable. If you fall and damage it, gouge your forks, it'll kind of protect that a little bit. And so there's a lot of stuff available. I like to kind of build my stuff up that I have and modify it and add things to it. So this is a perfect platform because there's so much stuff available for it already on the market. It's been out for several years now, as opposed to the Kawasaki. That was another reason why I was kind of like, they don't have as much stuff on the market for the bike as they do with this bike. So color-wise, this is the only color you get in the bike. It comes this way only. I think that when they first were introduced, the graphics were a different color, and I think the side panels here, this panel here on both sides were white on the first couple of years they made this bike, and now it's just all red, which is a good look. I think it looks great. Just a little bit of blue and the white lettering. And then the tires, from what I understand, are pretty good. What I was saying, it's 100. So I don't know how to read these dirt bike tires. I'm not familiar with that. So if somebody explain that to me in the comments. But the 100, 100, 18. I know the 18 is the 18-inch wheel. I'm not sure what the 100, 100 means. But it says mid-hard right on them. As far as, and then they are Pirelli Scorpion XC tires. So based on everything I was reading and seeing online, these are pretty good tires for out of the box, you know, from the factory, and shouldn't need to be changed. And the front tire is obviously same tire, but it's a 80-100, so on a 21-inch rim. So you got 21-inch wheel in the front, so 18-inch wheel in the rear. And I think the motocross bikes, the rear wheel is a 19 or a 20. You don't get an 18-inch rear wheel. That's kind of like a off-road bike thing. So should be good. Knock on wood. No issues, and the learning curve goes smoothly. So, but you guys will follow along hopefully, and you'll see how that goes. But I'll be recording those rides, like I said. That's really about it. That's all I really have to say right now. I'm kind of just in awe that I have the bike, in all honesty, because, again, never had a dirt bike in my life. I was always afraid of them, to be honest with you, growing up. And I'm 47 now. I said, it's now or never. Going to do it. So, I've gotten to the point where I realized that you got to try. You only live one life. So try things that you've always wanted to. Fear just causes you to not have fun. So I'm going to give it a whirl. What everybody tells me, if everything is what people tell me it is, it's going to be a load of fun. And it sure looks like a load of fun when I watch people ride. And so I'm super anxious to get on it. So I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. So I don't want it to sound like I'm rambling, but I just really wanted to introduce the bike to the channel, show you guys, kind of walk around, talk about it, and my plans for it. Hopefully you guys subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, and stick around and tune into the upcoming stuff for it. When I get the pegs, I'll throw them on. I'll do a quick video, and I'll show you guys the difference between the pegs that I'm going to throw on there and versus the pegs that are on there now. It's size difference. Everybody has recommended that be one of the first mods, so when I went ahead and ordered those, they'll be here tomorrow, and then I'll throw those on and show you guys what those look like, and give you my thoughts on them. But this is Joe at Odyssey Off-Road. I appreciate you guys tuning into the video. A lot more to come, so stay tuned. Honda CRF250F 2024 model. And you guys are out there on the trail, experienced riders, not experienced riders. I hope you're safe. Hope you have a great weekend. And smash that subscribe button on your way out. We'll check you guys out on the next one and see you on the trail.